survived Daytona and one race into this season's Great Lakes Sim Racing downrange transport season. We know we're in for a wild one already. After a first-time winner that we have been waiting to see go to victory lane for a couple of years, needless to say, we got the win for Cedric Ingram, who pulled the upset at Daytona. The question is tonight, do we go 2 for 2 in the upset category, or does the cream, as they say, rise to the top, or does the corn rise to the top, technically? Because, oh shucks, we're at the Iowa Speedway, virtually on iRacing, round number 2 of the Downrange Transport Premier Series for GLSR. We welcome you into Newton. I'm the captain, and we get ready to go racing 130 laps here tonight in a race that kind of puts on some special meaning to these drivers. Not only that, but also to myself as we get into the action here this evening. A lot of these cars, a lot of these teams are representing non-for-profits and other types of organizations that put awareness out for different diseases and different illnesses, if you will, for those that experience that kind of situation. And where I'm going with that is it kind of leads us to what tonight's race is called. It's called Donate Life 130, and it is race number 2 on the schedule. And I'll try to go through a bunch of the cars tonight here and show you the different paint schemes that we're seeing. I've seen stuff from obviously the breast cancer awareness month being the month of October. I've seen stuff on here for celiac disease, which hits me personally when it comes to my family. I've seen some mental health stuff on here, I believe. I've seen a couple others that, again, I'll point out as I see them as they come to my head here. But needless to say, what they're doing here tonight for the series is a really cool deal. And something that normally you see one series kind of put out there, like one race or whatever. But tonight it is basically a whole bunch of different groups and stuff like that, all involved in one. Now, as we get into the race here, before we get to the details of the race, we get to first qualify, and that is what we're going to do here right now as the cars will get out there on track. Appreciate those watching us here this evening. Let's work on the views, of course, and get some of the viewers in here getting ready for tonight's race as we go out here and qualify at the Iowa Speedway. And let's see who I want to choose to be that guy. Let's go with Chris Evans. As Chris gets out here on track and at 98 in the 00, I'm already getting numbers wrong here again. Story of my life. The Firefox 00 car, a little loose on entry there. This track, multiple degrees of banking, obviously the progressive banking, if you will. Just shy of a mile, basically. Was it 5/8, I believe, is the actual distance or whatever of it, as Fontaine goes to the pole right now, 23.69. Second lap should be fastest as the tires heat up. Some people thought Fontaine would be the guy to watch. As Evans crosses the line, Fontaine's already crossed 23, actually 23.83, went slower on lap 2, so actually stand corrected. A lot of guys going slower on lap 2. I don't know if that's with the weather or what the deal is here. So we got some others here. Let's go to the fastest car in practice, Brandon Alphin. In the, I don't know if I'd be wearing that paint scheme anywhere near life right now. Gets free off the corner. Very easy to do here at the transitions of banking. As he crosses the start-finish line. And Brandon Alphin not going to back up that time from practice, as he is only... You know, he must have clipped the wall because it didn't even count his lap. So this is going to have to be the one that counts for him. Strayer up to second. He was actually the fastest car in practice in the last minute there. I forgot he jumped up there with a 49. Runs a 71. Brandon goes P12. 2390, still the most offense Dallas has shown at all this week. Ben Pierce up to 15th. Jason Dalton up to 11th. Gagnon up to 9th. Where's old Cedric? Wow, Cedric, I'd retired after last week. He might be still partying over in Houston right now. Alex Bryson 3rd. Diego Sainz 4th. Lucas Gortman there 5th. And the toughest name I think I've ever had to try to pronounce in iRacing. And I'm going to have to work on this one. Brandon Macichowski, I believe it is. He told me a couple times, but I told him I'd figure it out by the time we get to the last race. Macichowski, I believe is how that's pronounced. And that is that's a Scrabble winner right there, boys. Just FYI, if you use that name in Scrabble, you will win. I promise. All right, here's the Peachin Hut car, if you will. John Peachin. Free off the corner. A lot of power in this car. And, of course, I will talk about the transitions of the track. And Sean goes 15th there in lap 1. The transitions on this track, I just noticed I didn't have that thing on the bottom, are so tricky with the way the banking kind of merges in and merges off. Telder's in the purple here. And Telder's up to 4th. Hey, he about backed up what I said in chat earlier. Oh, there goes Telder, pulling a Telder into the inside wall. Now he needs a backup can of C4. And that was Telder's actually second lap, so he will start 4th, and I'm sure he's probably cussing himself out down there. 5 cars have not qualified. Actually, 4 cars have not qualified. Andrew Miller tried to qualify, but, well, he had better ideas. Jason Stewart, Sam Barnes, Jacob Clayton, and Dalton Carter, I think, are back at the gas station off of turn 2, getting snacks for the race, potentially. So, looks like qualifying going to be over with here, so congratulations to Sam Fontaine, the 2-time GLSR champion, on winning the pole here at the Iowa Speedway. As the lights are on, and we're going to fall our way into darkness here in the next little bit or so in this Donate Life 130 race number 2 on the schedule. As Peachin's going to talk to the field here, and let's get you set up here at the starting lineup from the Iowa Speedway, virtually on iRacing. For those who are watching, this is not real. I mean, it is, but it's not. Breaking news. Sam Fontaine on the pole, as he will start alongside Lucas Strayer. Great qualifying run there for the 41 car. Alex Bryson and Telder, backup car and all, going to start there in 4th. Diego Sainz and Lucas Gortman, they'll start there in row 3. Alex Cummings, Stephen Miles, row 4. Row 5, Jacob Thornton and Cam Ingram. Josh Gagnon and Brandon Macichowski will start there in the 12th position. Luke Daniels, Joey Ladassour in row 7. Jason Dalton, Sean Peach in row 8. Brandon Alphin, Brian Sutphin. Those two have had a history. I think they've since healed. They'll start there row 10. Or row 9, sorry. Andrew Wyatt, Ben Pierce, row 10. Devin Ramsey and Peyton Johnson, the 15 car. Finally getting his number right, I hope. Richard Midkiff and the Dean Machine there in row number 12. Row 13, Tyler Pluff and Shane Matthews. Asher Gwinsey and Cedric Ingram, the Daytona winner, starting in 28th. We'll check on him maybe here in a second if we get a chance. Jacob Locklear, Mike Lemieux, row 15. Row 16, Matt Erickson, Chris Evans. Row 17, Tanyan Sutphin and Lucas Simonson and Drift. Andrew Miller there, row 18. And the final starters on the grid, Dalton Carter, Jacob Clayton, Jason Stewart, Sam Barnes. 40 cars, which is weird because that means we had more cars here than we did at Daytona. Usually it's the exact opposite. All right, we'll check with Sam here in a little bit because he gets to talk to people a lot. I want to go see if the party is still going on in the 808. Cedric Ingram, my man, still the Daytona winner. Can't take it away from you. How are we feeling about tonight?
I'm just trying to survive back here. I know it's going to be some wrecks coming out of 2 or coming out of 4. So,
how has it set in yet that, like, you finally went to victory lane?
Yeah, you know, I've been soaking it in all week, so but back on the grind. Hey, you got to go get that second one now.
Hey, you got to go double up on the sun now, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely, buddy. Hey, best of luck tonight, man.
I appreciate it.
You too. Cedric Ingram. As he said it last week the best, he has more wins than his son now in this league, which is pretty crazy and pretty funny at the same time. Race information, 130 laps around this near 1 mile track, 73 degrees, track temp at 75. That's going to get cooler as we go into the nighttime, 72% humidity, which is actually pretty high for Iowa. Partly cloudy skies and 4-mile-an-hour winds. There's a lot of moisture in the air, is basically what that 72% saying. No rain because that doesn't exist yet in iRacing. Sometime it will in the future. Jacob Clayton and Sammy B both did not grid. Also shout out to Tyler Brewer, who's not here. He's actually watching from the pit box. Apparently tonight he brought was going to bring out a celiac disease car also tonight for his wife, who unfortunately is celiac, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but who's watching here tonight, so shout out to he and his wife who are watching. Green flag, race number 2, the Donate Life, 130 from Iowa. Spreading out the rewind as Fontaine leads off turn 4 and leads the first lap. That was Stephen Miles that's up there at the top side. Our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As Jacob Clayton did start on pit road, unfortunately it was going to be likely a lap down already, so he's going to need some help if he is going to work his way up through the field here as we ride with Brandon Alford behind the... Of course, the first onboard camera I would look at would be the car with my daughter's name on it. Jason Dalton, who's driving the celiac awareness car also with my daughter's name on it. Thank you for reaching out. Doing that, he's done it multiple times, and each time he has come to me and said, hey, I want to do this. It's not been me going to him or anything like that. It's a big deal there. It's 3 wide. Off turn 4, Alex Cummings. Josh Gagnon there on that top side. They still have to learn some of these numbers. They're not numbers, they're more paint schemes and stuff, and so on and so forth. Telder up to 3rd, Miles up to 4th. Gortman has fallen back to the 6th position already, and Bryson back to 5th. Ooh, somebody got squeezed up in the wall back here just now. Looks like Peyton Johnson. Good job staying out of the throttle and not planting himself. And the only 29 with a bobble. Richard Midkiff had a D-Dido moment. Those cars are probably very loud, aren't they? I just realized I'm probably getting drowned out. I just looked over, my racing audio is like way high for some reason. Sorry about that. And there's Luke Daniels in a lane that you never want to run in this car. You never want to be on the top side in turn 1 and 2. There is a bump over there that is so vicious, it almost wrecks the car every time. But he did a good job controlling it there through 1 and 2. There's side-by-side battles everywhere. This is why this is a lot of people's favorite tracks, and I think you're going to see a sold-out race here when the Cup Series comes to Iowa for the first time in June of next year. There's battles everywhere. I'm just trying to find passes and the good racing here is Gortman and Signs there. That's Gortman in the 62, Signs in the 44, Daniels in the 28. Announced it was fine? What? It was darn near peaking. Look up front here real quickly. Fontaine out to about a 1/10 of a second lead over Strayer, Telder, Miles, Gortman. Everybody pretty much single file here. First battle is about here as Joey Ladisor, the French-Canadian driver, a short track racer, more of a dirt track racer, I should say. Oh, yeah, I get where you're going with that, Case. Good to see you too, buddy. Keep it up. I'll send a couple more of those blue and purple cars your way. That is the 15 of Peyton Johnson. Jason Dalton there to the inside. Brian Sutphin there behind him in the 26. My once a race I have to mention due to rules of the league, Sean Petchin in the 69 car. Maybe that should be my way. I should test the drivers on the during like the post race or whatever. When they go back and listen, they have to find where I screw up Sean's name on purpose and tell me the lap or something. As Sean makes the pass there on Dean outside lane. The 94 back there, that is the Ben Pierce car. I'm used to seeing Ben in a different number. But again, you see a lot of the cars in the pink, which is the usual breast cancer awareness. I just realized that Christopher Dean is wearing a Texas Longhorn paint. Probably the wrong week to do that. Boomer. As he's able to hold off Pierce. Tyler Pluff in the 39 car. Another new name for me to learn. And the 13 back there behind him, Andrew Wyatt. Now Casey's making me listen to my own straight to make sure I'm sounding okay. Alex Bryson under attack back here. This is Cam Ingram. Alex has fallen all the way back to the 7th position, so the struggle bus out right now for the 38. But look up front here is Lucas Strayer. The 41 car looking inside on Sam Fontaine. So the progressive banking, I talked about it a little bit on this track. You see the seams. That is where each part of the track kind of increases in banking. But the way the transition off the corners is, you still have to, if you're on the bottom lane, you're going across those 2 degrees of banking. So it's very easy, if you have the wheel turned coming off the corner, for the car to almost want to spin out going over the transitions up the, basically going to the different degrees of banking, almost de-wedges the car, if you will. So it makes it very tricky getting off this track, especially in the early part of a run. And it makes it very tough to pass. As you saw Strayer try to get down to the bottom, not able to make a move. I mean, look back here. This is a hornet's nest here. It's just like the start of the race all over again back here. On board with Maciejewski. Slotosur and then Christopher Dean there behind him. Dean, I'm expecting good things out of tonight. Usually runs pretty well on these worn out surfaces. I think back to the Milwaukee Mile. I think back to a couple other tracks where he has gotten some wins in this series. But of course, that's on the truck side too. This is a different car. But 21 laps in. 21. And with the fuel and stuff, it only should be a one-stop race, but with tires, could easily become a two-stop race. And of course, the almighty yellow flag could come into play and really make this race interesting tonight. Good corner there by Gagnon to make the move outside of Signs. Finally going to clear him. Luke Daniels going to follow him. And Luke going up there. Look at that car jump off the track. That should tell you right there how bad the top side is in turn 1 and 2. I mean, the bottom is already bumpy enough, and you go to the top. I mean, I saw what was underneath the hood pretty much through 1 and 2 there. And look at this for second. Telder in the C4 car. I mentioned earlier, could tonight be another night for an upset? Telder, yet to win a race in this series, has come close a few times. And I mean, things come in threes, right? So we did the Road America broadcast last year when we filled in for Steve and the crew that was broadcasting last season. And then Daytona was race 2. We had first-time winners in both races. It's the third time to charm, and it's Telder's turn maybe to get that first career win finally. If so, there will be a party in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Lucas Gortman getting a good run there on Miles. Bryson starting to work his way back up. Top 6 separated by 1.2. And there's battles like everywhere. I'm trying to keep up here. I'm trying. Fun racing though. Good stuff. Well, 3 wide. Late dive by Sutphin. Sutphin a pretty good short track racer in himself. This track built back in the 2008, 2009 years. Rusty Wallace helped design it, built it off his favorite track, which is Richmond. It's, as far as I know, and I think it's still that case, I think Kern County might be that way now too. One of the only tracks to have straight, safer barrier around the outside. There is no concrete wall. And back here for second, Telder and Strayer. Almost got to park the bus there through the mid-corners, especially in the long run. I mean, this is the part of the race where now you almost kind of have to take what you have here. And how about 4 wide, boys? Oh, and Olfin's in the wall. Touchdown 49ers. Caution's out. He's going to hate me for that one. So caution out for the first time as Brandon Olfin goes around. Off turn 2 there. I was wondering if they'd survived the 4 wide. Let's see if there was some contact or if Olfin got loose. And I kind of made this comment earlier at a joke. Well, he got the apron there. Oh, right there. Peyton Johnson. Oh, the law firm turns him. And let's go to pit road because we have got some strategy on our hands here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The leaders are on pit road. I don't know where to go with that comment. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to put it like that. Looks like the top. I shouldn't say the top. About third, fourth. And about 3/4 of the field all on pit road here. Strayer, Miles, Maciejewski, and Gortman, and Bryson, and Ingram. Those guys all come to pit road here. And Fontaine and about 11 others going to stay out here as caution comes out here for the first time. As we bring our Let's bring our leader of the race up here and just kind of hear what he has to say really quickly on this strategy. Fontaine, obviously, leading this race, led the first 30 here so far. Talk about the strategy move here to stay out.
Yeah, we didn't thought that many guys would go in that early in the race, but no, we're waiting for another caution later in the race. Hopefully, it's gonna happen when we need it, and trying to hang on to those guys with fresh tires. The goal is just to make it to the end of the race, and after that, maybe fighting for a win. Hopefully.
Yeah, obviously with the tire preservation there. How much were you going 100% there? Were you holding back, kind of backing up to the other cars there? Because I know obviously you're pretty good on these short tracks.
I wasn't like trying to go slow and save too much. I was taking care of my tires, but with a decent pace. So, yeah, so it's gonna be challenging with those new tires behind coming.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, best of luck, and maybe we'll talk later.
Yes, sir. Thanks, mate.
Give Telder room on the outside, by the way. It's Fontaine there running in the lead. I looked up, I saw a C4 car on the outside, and he's one you want to give a little extra room to, as we all know. So let's move him down to his KJD2 team. I believe that's where he's hanging out. Per the rule book, by the way, 100% fuel, 3 sets of tires in the pits. So fuel, forget about it. That's not happening. We'll have to worry about that tonight. But the 3 sets of tires is going to play a role here, because 30 laps complete, we're already a quarter distance in. I am kind of surprised, to be honest with you, that the leaders did not come to pit road. I would have expected everybody to go in there. But we got what we got. So Asher Gwenzy and Andrew Miller also on pit road. They're probably topping off the fuel cell, which actually, that's an interesting move right here at this point in the race. I don't think you can go 97 laps. But as I've said a few times before, I never expected Hank Parker Jr. to win a Busch race at Auto Club running 62 laps on a tank of fuel. That did happen. All right, Donate Life 130 here, about to go back green. Lap 33 in the books. Sam Fontaine, Matt Telder, Luke Daniels, Alex Cummings, Jason Dalton. And then Christopher Dean there in 6th. And all the way down to 11th place, or 10th place, Lucas Simonson did not take tires. Everybody else has got 4 Mr. Feelgoods, and turn 1's about to get wild. Lucas aborts out. Good move on his part. Oh, one car loose and into the inside wall. Dalton Carter. I think that is. Oh, there's Dalton. That wasn't Dalton. It was somebody else. I don't know if they saved it or not to check the replay. But somebody went for the infield. I was trying to click on their name, but as I keep going down and going down and going down and going down and going down, I can't click on their name. It's very hard to do on the standings. Oh, somebody scraping the wall there. 3 wide down the back. Oh, look. Hey, we're almost 5 wide in Iowa. Once we sort this out, I'll go back into the restart and see who that was that went to the infield pretty much. Oh, Lucas up against the wall, trying to give everybody plenty of room. Where it tells some people just drive your own car. Don't worry about where they go. And he decided to just throw it up in the wall and let everybody go by. That's up front. Lucas Strayer going to go to second. Going to bring Miles with him. Three car. It was Dalton. Okay, thank you, Todd. It was Dalton. Thank you. That's what I thought, because I saw him coming off turn 3 off the apron, but I thought I saw another car back there. There's too much to watch, man. I need more eyes. The good Lord only gave me 2. I guess that's better than some. Anyways, up front, Lucas Strayer to the front. Lead change. One thing you should note, it took about 5 laps to get from 11th to 1st on the newer tires. So that could play a role later on if there comes a late pit stop or something on tires. Look at this. Ooh, 18 chopping to 5. 94 there to the outside, and the 18 hits the 5 until, here we go, trying to wreck, and they'll save it. Well, that was a caution that didn't happen. There's your Daytona winner, Cedric Ingram. He's just trying to avoid carnage here. Riding there in the 24th position. Jump back to the front here real quickly. You see Peyton Johnson has moved up to 3rd. Fontaine still maintaining the 4th position. He's got Lucas Gortman there behind him, and then everything else is behind them. And obviously, the further back you go, believe it or not, on a short track like this, the dirtier the air does get. It makes it very tough. Taylor under attack as Tyler Pluff there behind him. Diego Sainz going to make the pass. There's Gagnon. Alex Cummings riding there in the 63 car. Evans making that pass in that forward. That's actually a pretty cool looking scheme. Back up here is the Peach and Hut car up to the 6th position as Sean takes position. Sutphin coming up here is Diego Sainz also. Team, by the way, was Jason Stewart, who was on the bottom lane there and kind of came up there in the cam, and they avoided carnage somehow. All right, let me see. We went green at lap 35, I believe. Let's go back to the restart here, and let's get to the 3 car, because I like to say this, and I give Joshua Gathright, who has his own Facebook channel, by the way, you can watch. He said this once before, and I've taken it from him, and I'm using it, but I think Dalton Carter went for a hot pocket. Yo! Oh, and he did get the inside wall pretty dadgum hard. Holy cow. So I don't know, he had to have had help or something. So Strayer leads by a half second over Miles, who's got a second on Peyton Johnson, who's got Lucas Gortman behind him, and he's got Alex Bryson on his tail. Both of them right down there in that yellow line. Bryson slides up a little wider off the track. Oh, somebody kissing the wall back there. I think that was Pluff. as Gortman's going to let Bryson go on by there. Nice clean move there. One of the ways you can minimize how much time you lose on a track sometimes is you just kind of pull over and let a guy go by. Back here, Jacob Thornton, the Ford Service number 11. He's got Cummings to his inside, and he's got the wall on his outside. Hang on, let me see if I can get that QR code on his car. Brandon, don't go back watching that replay because you ain't gonna like what I said. I'm just warning you in advance, dude. Lucas Simonson coming to pit road. Brandon's going to get to a point in a broadcast, he's going to want me fired. Yes, he won his first race for the team he races for in a league over there. It took like the first 1 or 2 broadcasts, but over here, he's raced for like 3 seasons, has never won a race, wins a championship without winning a race. I step away, another guy comes in, he wins like 3 races. A lot of cars getting loose off turn 2, especially if they drive shallow off. One thing I am noticing here is Fontaine continues to fall back. And this is carnage back here. I mean, this is more great driving back here than you're seeing out of the front. And I hate saying that because obviously these guys are more struggling compared to the leaders. But to be around each other like this and to 99% of the time stay off each other, it takes a lot of awareness and a lot of good driving to do that. You got to remember, too, a lot of drivers making their first non-super speedway start now in this series. And you would expect a race like this to be one of the races that has cautions. And, I mean, a lot of them because of the inexperience of the drivers around each other. But I think for the most part, you're seeing a lot of room out of the drivers with each other. Oh, I say that. It's 2 door bang. That's Telder back there. He's not going to be happy with somebody. But for the most part, you know, everybody's giving each other plenty of room. Oh, trouble off 4, Jacob Locklear. And there's Stewart. All kinds of issues turning. No cautions. We stay green. No! We're trying to. There they go. 74's around. Mid-Kiff's around. I was hesitant to say the green's staying out. Devin Ramsey with some damage. Tandon Sutphin getting turned. Andrew Miller into 74. Second caution coming out. That was all a caution that happened a half a lap before it happened. This is the caution that pretty much everyone who stayed out under the first caution needed. So Stewart up there at the top side. As we arrive at Dean, see if I can. There we go. Locklear fills the middle there as the spot was open. Stewart almost gets the wall, comes off the wall, and gets into the side of Locklear. Locklear does a great job to save. Never mind, he got the wall there. And then Stewart, trying to avoid Locklear's coming back down the track, trying to save his car, and then Stewart decides, I'm going to hang a left here. And I don't know if he remembered that we're not at the rally track. And all of a sudden now he's got to turn this car somehow. All the way up the track she goes. And if we go back here to the 29 car. Stewart goes up there, gets the outside wall. And obviously not knowing how much damage that 18 car has, we speed it up now. And there's the contact between the 18 and 29. Gets to 74. And eventually the 9's going to come in here. There he is. Hits Tanya Sutphin. And they go for a spin. And caution comes out for the second time. And we did have the leaders on pit road, and so you didn't miss anything. Let's show you the leaders on pit road here real quick. Joseph Grijalva, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hope New Mexico is treating you well. For those who don't know, Mr. Grijalva, a member of the military. So let's all give him a friendly salute as he stops in. Peyton Johnson comes off pit road first. And that is a two-tire stop on the 15-0, by the way. Strayer comes off second. Stephen Miles third. Bryson fourth. Lucas Gortman fifth. That two-tire move has some curiosity in me. And you know what I'm wondering here? Peyton did pit in that first caution. And Peyton is back on pit road. I think he realized at that moment he made a mistake. He's come back to pit road to get tires. It's like the old TV stuff where it's like, it was at that moment I realized I'd messed up. Let's, while we're under caution here, I'm going to try to keep track. I'm going to click on some cars here. Because I know there's some other non-for-profits being represented out here. As I mentioned, Celiac. I hadn't even had a chance to talk about that yet. There's a dog on that car. I wonder if there's something to do with that. There's the Celiac Disease Foundation on a few cars here. Operation Underground Railroad. That's a cool deal. Alex talked about that a little bit. I'll have to get some more research on that, but that's a non-for-profit there. There's my daughter's name, Lucy, on the car. Thank you again, Jason. Appreciate that. Oh! Oh! May the force be with you, young man. There's a Longhorn. White River, that's Lemieux. What was this? I just saw something in that car. Well, either way, we're going to come back to green here. So, obviously, the Celiac one hits pretty close to home, obviously, with my daughter. Obviously, these non-for-profits, I'm a big fan of them. I'm a big fan of what people do to help raise awareness, and I'm always on board with helping wherever I can. I've broadcasted events for non-for-profits and stuff like that in the past, and also, big wreck here, front stretch. Miles just got clobbered by Luke Daniels, but Stephen Miles involved. Alex Cummings, Christopher Dean. That was Miles sitting in the middle of the track, broadsided. Oh, Ric Flair. Ric Flair drip. Flair just I just had visions of War Games, 1997, when Ric Flair got his head smashed by a fence. Yeah, I watched a little bit of wrestling when I was younger. Let's see what happened to Alex head to toe, Miles head to toe. Like I said, Dean was involved. That, I don't know where it started up front because Miles was up there. Let's, there's Miles in the second position. Oh, no. Miles made the, wow. There is something I don't say often. Miles made a mistake. That is something that does not happen often. Man, Miles gets loose over that transition. And then who's that in the outside lane? Smashes into him. There goes Cummings into the wall. Luke Daniels. Telder gets hit. Treehouse is going to be fun tonight. Dean's involved. Everybody in the treehouse involved. All right, so I'll explain this for those who don't iRace or race a lot. I'm going to go back to this wreck here, and I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And I talked about the transitions earlier. So, as I mentioned, each, if you will, lane is a different degree of banking from the bottom all the way to the top of this track. Well, the one thing you have to do when you transition out of the corners is you have to drive up the different degrees of banking. Well, right here, Miles is actually transitioning down from, I want to say this is 13 degrees of banking, and then down here's 12. I can't remember exactly the number off the top of my head. But this does what they call de-wedge the car. So it sends all the weight to the front, basically, and the rear of the car is light. So it loosens it up. As he transitions down, the back end says, hold on there, guy. He goes out for a little bit of a yaw moment. And then Miles, of course, at this moment, you see the wheel going right, trying to save it, trying to save it, trying to save it. Unfortunately, the car eventually hooks because it grips. And I'm sure Miles is going to wish he just let the car turn left. That is, bam, the 39 clobbering the 24. It's going to knock him back down the track. That's Pluff, by the way. And there goes Alex Cummings. There's Telder. There's Luke. There's like 3/4 of the Lap 1 Legends team. Dalton gets some damage to the hood. There's Dean, who's going to hit here in a second. So, unfortunately, Stephen Miles, who, I will tell you this right now, that dude practices so much, and he takes this racing pretty seriously, is probably feeling pretty terrible right now. Yeah, and I say that being somebody that knows him pretty well now. I've not seen, I can count on one hand how many times Stephen Miles has made a mistake at a race. Like when it comes to spinning out himself or something. I mean, I can easily admit myself, I have self-spun about 10 times more than he has when it comes to self-spins. And I mean that multiplying wise, not 10 more times. All right, coming back to the green, lap 71. We're past the halfway point now. So, again, the tires are what are going to come into play here now. You know, who has one set left? Who still has two sets left? And Strayer, a pretty good launch there on Bryson. Fontaine, the pole sitter, lost a little bit of momentum there with staying out in the pits. Now got to work his way up from the 8th position. Gets a good run topside. There's Gagnon to the inside. I don't even know what color that is on that 79 car, but it's actually kind of cool looking. It's like a black cherry look. Oh, one car out of shape. Gagnon up the track along with Bryson. Good save on his part, both of them. So obviously Miles has gone behind the wall. Alex Cummings behind the wall. Luke Daniels behind the wall. That's going to affect the Luke standings, which, by the way, is a side bet in the league. Telder is still on track also with damage and a couple others. Let's go back to Alex's Code Brown moment here a second ago. See if I can get back to it here real quickly. He's already fallen back there. Right on the restart. Right here off turn 4. Watch Alex up there on the 38. Has Brian Sutphin there behind him. And it's going to happen here off turn 4. Oh, right there. It looks like Sutphin got in the back of him. Yikes. What a save. I just want to get the confirmation here real quick that there was contact there. I mean, I'm assuming, yep, that's what happened. So Brian just went in there a lot deeper and unfortunately gets into the 38. So I'm sure that's something Bryson might actually keep note of. But Sutphin up to the 3rd position. Sean Peachin up to 4th. Diego Sainz now up to 5th. On Leisure. All right, so the question I have, what have you guys done to Lucas Strayer? So, Lucas, for seasons, had troubles winning. Finally goes to victory lane. By the way, when he goes to victory lane, it's like watching Noah Gragson go to victory lane or somebody like that because there's a party. And this man tonight is, I mean, outside of Fontaine leading, has just pretty much led this entire race. Credit to him for his improvements. Unfortunately, he's not the only Lucas in the top 3. Is Lucas Gortman. The battle of the Lukes. Going at it up front here. Daniel's going to start way behind in the Luke standings. By the way, I'm going to need a graphic of that, Luke, so that I can start posting that. Josh Gagnon is really falling back here. He was riding right there behind Bryson when the contact happened with Sutphin, and now Gagnon has fallen all the way back to 22nd behind Devin Ramsey now. I don't see much damage on that 79 car, if any. Appreciate those watching tonight, by the way. If you're new on the stream, hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, go tell 2 friends to tell 2 friends. But we pretty much stream every night and got multiple different leagues you can come watch. I will tell you right now, I have the pleasure of saying that I'm broadcasting easily 3 of the best leagues on iRacing. And somebody's throwing debris on the track back there. Who is that? Or was that, look at this. Oh, and there's drift. Holy moly. Drift was throwing debris everywhere. Is he drifting? I have never seen that in my life. And there's Telder saying he's bored. And he's saying hello to everybody while he's racing. Matt Telder, the only one that does that. Running in the 31st position. I just heard Y Gagnon saying that he's struggling. He's on older tires. And I look over and verify that. As he only had 8 seconds on pit road. So he's playing a tire strategy right now. Battle for 8th as Cam Ingram. And that's Ben Pierce in the 94 car. Yeah, let's say, Clark, go to the treehouse. I'm sure there's plenty of people over there waiting on you now. And I'm sure they're all going to have fun conversations. Brandon Machucheski, the 93 car. Battle with Andrew Wyant for the 9th position. Alex Bryson there with him now. Peyton Johnson in the 15. One of our biggest movers in the race. I want to give him a shout out back here, up 21 positions. 21. Jacob Clayton in the 1 car. This guy started on pit road and is up to the 17th position. Clayton doing a good job in that 1 car, trying to chase down Evans in that 00, just past Jason Dalton, who got himself a fresh new front end, it looks like. And battle here for 6 as Diego Sainz trying to hold off Ben Pierce. And Pierce clears in that 94 car. All this behind Lucas Strayer's got 9/10 of a second over Gortman, and Brian Sutphin trying to chase down the 62, and he's doing so pretty fierce. We got a battle for 3rd, or battle for 2nd, and then a battle for 4th back there with Fontaine and Peachin also. Oh, somebody chasing a hot pocket back there. That might have been Bryson, who's got Telder. Unfortunately, off the pace there in that 42 car, as Johnson's going to go by. Uh-oh, Chris Evans in trouble. Outside wall here, turn 1. No caution. I did not see what happened to the 00 car. Oh, he gets into a lot of sore. And he kept the car off the wall. That's impressive. Good save on both cars' parts. Cam Ingram going to pass his teammate here for the 7th position. So Sainz actually starting to fall back. And here comes Maciuszewski. Or however Telder wanted to say it. It was like Major something. Major Pain or something. Car riding the outside wall back there. Not sure who that was. So 32 laps to go here. Anybody got anything for Lucas and Lucas? Can you donate Life 130? Round 2 of the Downrange Transport Premier Series that you can see every Wednesday night here on the Captain Esports Network. GLSR making a return to the channel after a 2-season hiatus. On board Darth Vader as Shane races into 14th position as they go around the, I think it's the 18 of Stewart. Back here for 3rd as Josh Gagnon on pit road. This is not what he needed. Coming to get tires now with 28 laps to go. He is going to easily lose a lap here, if not 2. And that no tire strategy going to bite the Las Vegas native. But Peachin here trying to hold off Fontaine. And Fontaine's now going to try to fight Ben Pierce for 4th. Make that 5th. So one thing I'm noticing tonight is that pit road and pit strategy has definitely played a role in, and I don't mean it in a positive way, on some of these cars. Jump up front here. There's Strayer, there's Gortman, there's Sutphin, all within a second of each other now. Let's put some lap times up here. Let you see how they're running around the track. 25s pretty much for everybody. Top 3 in the teens. 24 for Peachin and 18 for Fontaine. Maciuszewski back there running a 10. Let's see how as they cross the line here. It should update on the left there. Maciuszewski once again quicker. Peachin right there with him. Brian Sutphin also. And there goes Brandon. Going to make the pass on Ben Pierce for now. I think I'm okay to say this joke because I honestly don't care what Telder says about it. But if Brandon were to somehow work his way to victory lane, he would be the 5th person to win a race before Matt Telder, I believe. My numbers are right. I was waiting on that from somebody. There are two words. One starts with an F. The other one starts with an O that I'm pretty sure the 2 car, or whatever number he is now, the 42 said it. Clayton making the pass on Shane Matthews for 15th. Good tight racing hitter Cedric Ingram, who's done a good job keeping his car clean there in the, 18th position there at La de Sur. So 20 laps to go as the Lucas Strayer train roars its way through Iowa right now. As here comes Brandon to the inside of Sam for 5th. By the way, I know he's still watching. Shout out to Casey Carrington, the guy named War in our chat. He has introduced me to... Love you too, brother. Man. The lighting system here. Should we call the Casey Carrington lighting system? He's taught me some things. Let's just put it like that. And we've got a couple of cars on pit road here. Lucas Simonson, he's been on pit road for 12 minutes. Jason Stewart's been on for 2 minutes. Chris Evans on pit road, though. As mentioned, Josh Gagnon, 31st right now. He is all but 2 laps down now. And put a lap on the 28 of Matt Erickson there. I've been calling the 28 Daniels all night, so once again that number's not fixed. Whose idea was that? There's Gagnon in his 4 field goods. He's going to blow by everybody pretty much here. As you see, Brandon Maciejewski's up to 5th. And I am seeing lap times of his continue to be faster than the leaders. So let's not call this race over with. This 93 is coming. And not to mention the lead battle is starting to get tighter. So as those 3 go to battle, if Maciejewski can get ahead of Peachin coming up here, and we might end up with a 4-horse race as some contact up ahead there. A couple of lap cars right there in front of the leader. Sutphin's going to go for 2nd. They're still trying to battle up ahead there. That's Midkiff and Gwinsey and Wyatt that are up there. Hitting each other. Sutphin's going to clear for 2nd. Maybe. And he finally does. Ooh, Lucas caught the 12 at a bad moment. Here comes Sutphin with a run. Lucas with a block. Here comes the 62 outside now. Lap traffic playing a role in Iowa. Oh, this is going to get good. Oh, how about 4 wide? Here comes Peachin, by the way, right here in the white black car. Oh, contact with the leaders. And somehow Strayer holds on. Here comes the 79 with fresh tires. They go past Midkiff. You now have the top 5 cars all under a blanket. As Peachin goes past Gortman for 3rd. Oh, Josh goes in shallow. That almost got bad. And Towler's back there eating, drinking C4 and eating popcorn now. Eight laps to go in what has turned into a show at Iowa. Thank you guys for bringing me back, by the way. And look who's sneaking in behind. Here comes the 93. Gagnon sends it in deep, slides up the track. That's going to affect these leaders off the corner. As Peachin's going to go to 2nd. And I believe, is Gagnon a teammate, I believe, to Peachin? I think they are teammates. Fontaine's yelling to somebody. And confirming Ace Motorsports, yep, Gagnon is a teammate. And here comes Maciejewski to the inside as Strayers lost the lead to Sutphin and to Peachin. 5 laps to go. Oh, poor Lucas. That sucks, man. I feel bad for him. Peachin's there, but he lost the momentum. 3 to go. Next time by. Brandon got a good run off of 2. Crossed over to the inside. Here comes Stewart. As now we're at 3 to go. Sutphin needs these guys to stay side by side. Brandon sends it in there. Is he going to slide up? He's going to clear him. Maciejewski up to 2nd with 2 laps to go. I somehow had a feeling I was going to have to learn this guy's name tonight. And he might be giving me a reason to learn it. Sutphin to the bottom here. As they come to the white flag, final lap is the 18 there on the inside lane. That 18 might play a role here. And he actually gets out of the way now. As the race down to turn 3 and 4. Brian Sutphin holding off Maciejewski, who spins her around, and Sutphin scores the Iowa win. So what, 2 cautions in the end. Fantastic stuff. Fireworks going off in the background. Sutphin in KJD2 Racing going to victory lane. I mentioned earlier that Sutphin, that guy knows how to race on these short tracks. And he goes to victory lane. As Sutphin wins it. It ends up being 0.4 of a second, but it was pretty close, obviously, with Brandon spinning off 2. He still holds on to second. Sean Peachin finishing 3rd. Lucas Strayer 4th. Sam Fontaine still ends up in the top 5. Gortman falls back to 6th. Ben Pierce 7th. Alex Bryson 8th. Peyton Johnson 9th. Cam Ingram finishing 10th. Jacob Thornton 11th. Dalton finishes 12th with Dean 13th. Diego Sainz 14th. Jacob Clayton 15th. Cedric Ingram 16th. Lotta Sewer and Drift finishing 17th and 18th, respectively. And the one thing I'm hearing in chat right now in my ears is lap cars, is the theme that seems like this week. Shane Matthews 19th. Devin Ramsey 20th. Mike Lemieux 21st. Tyler Pluff had a good run, but unfortunately falls at the end there to 22nd. Dalton Carter 23rd. Tanyan Sutphin 24th. Asher Gwincy 25th. Richard Midkiff 26th. Matt Erickson 27th, with Andrew Wyatt in the 28th position. 29th, Josh Gagnon. 30th to Matt Telder. 31st, Jason Stewart. 32nd, Chris Evans. 33rd, Lucas Simonson. 34th, Jacob Locklear. Andrew Miller, 35th. Luke Daniels, 36th. Stephen Miles and Alex Cummings, 37th and 38th. Last two, one of them didn't start the race. Sam Barnes, Brandon Alphin, 39th. Unfortunately for him, yeah, I agree 100%. Tyler, definitely heartbreak for Lucas, who's going to finish 4th. That's pretty much, Casey, what Lucas put it like this. I'm going to go ahead and quote Lucas Strayer. He kept it fairly clean, but his words were basically, those lap cars are on my blank list right now. That was the words of Lucas Strayer as he crossed the line. All right, let's talk to our top 3 finishers, where somehow Luke Simonson has made his way into the top 3. I don't know why you see it. But anyways, hey, welcome to that channel, I guess. Let's talk with our 3rd place finisher. That be the Peachin Hut car of Sean Peachin, who finishes in the 3rd position. Or Sean, I rebotched your name early in the race. I get to figure out when I did. So, 3rd place finish, man. Great job. Obviously, some fantastic racing. I know you're still feeling that adrenaline rush, as you said a minute ago, but that was definitely some great long run racing there at the end.
Yeah, what a friggin' race, man. What a hell of a race with those guys. That was awesome. To be honest, we don't even belong up here. I shouldn't have been up here. We were so slow in practice. We qualified like crap. And then somehow something happened. Probably, I would say, towards the end of that first run or second run, we kind of found something to do with the car to kind of get those tires to survive and get the defensive line going. And it really paid off at the end. And I mean, they were telling me in the air, they're like, you're 3/10 faster, 4/10 faster. And I was like, oh my God. And then like, you could just feel that adrenaline hit you and you're like, oh man, it's on, let's go. So It was awesome.
I mean, you and Brandon and, you guys were hanging back, 7th, 8th position. It almost seemed like they're in the middle part of that run. And just talk about the working your way through and passing the cars, because without it looking like teamwork, it looked like teamwork, basically, as you guys are making the passes.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just knew the line that we needed to run. I think, Brian's obviously a fantastic driver on these types of surfaces, these types of racetracks, so he's a good guy to follow. And him and I think we're running similar style lines, and so we would kind of do the same thing, and we were catching cars, and then, we were playing the track position game with the stops, and then, trying to just stay even, hoping that it would go green there at the end. And then we used that long run strategy, and it really paid off. I mean, it was just awesome.
And great job tonight. Congratulations, and some shout outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for broadcasting. Checks in the mail.
Thank you.
Also, yep. Also, thanks to all the guys in the league, man. We had 40 cars out here. If you would have told me last season, you know, that you're going to have 43 paid drivers, 40 cars on track, and you're going to put on this kind of racing, dude, I would have told you you're absolutely full of shit. So I'm really proud of the product that we bring. I want to thank Sam Fontaine, Tyler Brewer for helping me kind of run the league and doing all that day-to-day grind. And I want to thank all the guys out there racing who put on one hell of a show tonight. Don't forget to get your pizza, pizzahut.com. Click the deals, and yeah, have yourself a pizza tonight, because I am. We're celebrating, baby.
There you go. You go do that, and congratulations to you, Sean, on your third place run, and we shall speak next week.
Yep, see you, bud.
All right, buddy. As Sean Peachin finishing in the third position tonight, congratulations to him, as the name that I've had to figure out how to say for the last 2 hours. Brandon Maciejewski finishes second in the 93 car, gave it all in the world's effort to get there, and even spun yourself at the end to do it. But man, that had to be a lot of fun to climb up through the field and have a chance there at the end.
Oh man, it was a blast racing with these guys. Everybody's given space, you know, but we had to drive it hard to get there. I think at one time we were down to like 24th, 25th, and just kind of riding, hoping for a caution, and got it. And knew we had some work to do, and just wanted to keep the tires on it all the way to the end. Gave her all we got, and unfortunately lost the back end coming out of 4, but still managed to get P2.
Yeah, definitely worked out for you. What was the first thought that came to mind? Because you were about 3 seconds back. I was watching you slowly bring the time in because you were one of the faster cars at the end of that race. But then they get to start, they catch those lap cars and they start beating and banging off each other. And all of a sudden you're within a second. Did it come to your mind, hey, I might have a shot here?
So yeah, I was just talking to Brian about it. You know, at a time I looked up and I wasn't looking at the relative, and I just saw all these cars, and I wasn't really sure who was in what position because everybody was kind of jumbled up. And
Right.
I happened to look down and see there was one point coming off of turn 2, and I think it was Brian, Sean, and me. And I just kind of looked at it and I said, "Well, wait, this is the leaders." So you know, it's just kind of knuckle down and kind of keep the same thought process as before, and just hit the marks and try to be fast and be clean.
Well, definitely, man. You definitely showed up tonight, man. Great job in that 93 car, and congratulations. Send some shout outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, man, I want to give a shout out to the wife, because without her letting me do this, we wouldn't be able to do it. So she gives me the time to come out here and be a pretend race car driver, but you know, sometimes it means more than that. So big shout out to Sean and everybody in the league for putting it on, and everybody out here just coming out to race and have a good time and race hard.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, and look forward to talking to you more and potentially in victory lane quickly here.
Appreciate it, man.
You too, buddy. That is Brandon, as I practice, Maciejewski. Did I get it right?
Maciejewski.
I'm nowhere close. Maciejewski.
Good try.
Yeah, it was better what Elder said. He said something like major pain or something. Anyways, great job, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
You too, buddy. Maciejewski. Hey, there we go. I'll get that wrong next week, too. And we'll get him down to the LOL team. There it is. And let's talk to our winner. That would be Mr. Sutphin, who once again goes to victory lane here at Iowa. As I continue to say, this man, when he has good luck, knows how to run on short tracks. And here he is on a short track going to victory lane. Brian, it looked like about 20 to go or so. You were within about 3/4 of a second into the lead. And I watched you fall back to about a second to a second and a half. And then all of a sudden you came back alive. Was that a matter of you cooling your tires down to make one last run for the lead? And if so, congratulations, it worked.
Yeah, I was just, I don't know. I cruised around trying to manage the gap, and I could see those guys, especially after we got, I don't know, 20 laps in that run or so, they were really pushing it hard up off the corners and out against the wall, and you know, sometimes maybe kissing it or whatever. And I was like, hey, buddy, you just sit back here and bide your time, and you won't even have to work hard to pass them when their tires give out. And that's pretty much a strategy I had and hung on to it. And luckily, there at the end, man alive, the 93 was coming hard. but he gave it all he had coming off of 4. I was just like, man, let me make it to the line.
Well, it worked out for you there. Talk about the fight, you and the two Lukes, obviously, and then Sean Peachin came in there. The lap cars came into play there, obviously, and as we've seen, I've noticed these last couple nights, net code's been coming into play a lot with the battles. So it's almost like an extra battle with cars, but still, that fight though had to be either very nerve wracking, a lot of fun, or both.
Oh, it was an absolute blast. And luckily, I mean, I ran really, really close to some guys tonight all throughout the race, and no net code, nothing. It was, we traded some stickers, maybe a little bit of paint, but it was a phenomenal race. I've taken a break for a good while, and I was one of these racetracks that I just absolutely love this place. It's just like, not just like, but pretty close to Richmond, which is another favorite
Mm-hmm.
track of mine. And I was like, shoot, man, we gonna strap in tonight and see how it goes.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations. Welcome to Victory Lane here this season. And good to see you back up here in Victory Lane with the team and yourself, obviously. And I do have a note to make some homework, as I'm going to go find out who this other Sutphin is that's in another league that apparently you don't know. And we go from there. But congratulations, and send a shout out whoever you like to.
Well, I'm gonna bear with me.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my dad Ellis tonight,
Hmm.
and he's the one that took me to races when I was a little kid. We've been going to races together my whole entire life, and for the past 13 years, he's been battling cancer, and it's moved and everything else. And the last few times he's been to the doctor, it's been pretty much nothing but bad news. And I don't know. He's missed watching me race. I think he's asked me about it a few times, and tonight I sent him the message, and I strapped in. And I'll be honest with you, man, I drove my absolute heart out because I wanted to win this race for him. I really did, and I drove with everything that I had, and I love him. And this one's for him.
That is well said, man. And obviously, being somebody that has had a dad battle, cancer himself, I immediately, just say a silent prayer as you were talking there, just to help you guys out and hope for nothing but the best in that situation, and keep fighting there, sir. Is all I can say. And man, well done, Brian. Congratulations, well said. And we'll talk next week, but
Hey, man, it's great to have you back broadcasting. By the way,
I appreciate that.
absolutely phenomenal. I think pretty much every league race that I've ever ran, you've been. I don't know. There one, I guess. There might have been a couple other broadcasters with other leagues and everything else, but for the most part, I've always been talking to you, and I think it's awesome that you're back, man. You do a
Thanks.
great job.
Appreciate that, Brian. Appreciate that, man. And go enjoy this win with the team.
Appreciate it.
All
You
right, buddy.
guys have a good one.
Yes, sir. Brian Sutphin, the winner here tonight at the Iowa Speedway, and I didn't want to say it in front of him. Cancer sucks. Let's just throw it out there right now. It sucks. Every time somebody brings something up like that, I it hits me personally every time, man. All right. And enough about making it about me. But great job, Brian. Great job, everybody. That was a fantastic race. I mean, we've had two fantastic races. I mean, Daytona was great. Iowa was great. And as we pull up the schedule here really quickly, and I'm enjoying the boxing ring, by the way, too. Just saying. Here's where we are. Next week, we go to New Hampshire. So almost a twin track, if you will, to Iowa. A little less banking. 1 mile track there as somebody will win a virtual lobster, or lobster, as they say in that area. And then we hit the dirt track of Eldora on the 25th of October. Take Halloween. Well, I guess not really taking Halloween off. We go to Bristol the night after Halloween. And for 200 laps there. So we pretty much got short track like, dirt track and short track to kick off the season here. So there's going to be a lot of excitement, before we go to the Midwest in the middle part of November. So a lot of great racing to go here on the Captain Esports Network. Appreciate everybody for being here tonight, and shout out to all the drivers that ran cars for organizations and stuff like that tonight in this Donate Life 130. Downrange Transport, appreciate those guys for being a part of this league as a sponsorship for the Premier Series. And shout out to all the viewers here tonight. And it's as others have said, I'm happy to be back here. And like I said, I look forward to broadcasting every night now. It's like my steering wheel is sitting here, and unfortunately, I did get a little sick over the weekend, so I wasn't able to race any like I usually do, which is like once a night now. I'm totally okay with just pushing this wheel aside and broadcasting, because this is just, I'm having a blast now. So, and not to mention the new job, new location, everything, that's all contributing. But anyways, let's go home and let's enjoy the rest of our Wednesday evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back next week from New Hampshire for the GLSR Downrange Transport Premier Series. Congratulations, Brian Sutphin, on scoring the win here this evening at the Iowa Speedway. If you build a track, they will race, says NASCAR in June of 2024. This isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!